It's time now for all the day's business news. Yuka Wei is here in studio. Good to have you here in studio, and Happy New Year to you,
Happy
Yuka.
New Year, Sharon, as well.
You're starting with something that could shake up international trade. The EU's new green tax has officially gone into effect.
That's right. Well, Brussels sees this as a powerful new tool for its climate policy, but critics say it creates yet more regulatory headaches for businesses. The EU's carbon border adjustment mechanism has entered a definitive phase, meaning heavy goods coming into the EU are now levied an additional fee on the CO2 emitted during their production. It's meant to level the playing field and protect European manufacturers from unfair competition, but there's been a lot of resistance. After a 3-year transition period to give companies time to prepare, the new rule now requires EU importers to buy or surrender certificates corresponding to the amount of CO2 linked to products coming from outside the bloc. This will apply to materials such as steel, aluminium, cement and fertilizer, but in December the Commission expanded the scope of the system to include car parts and washing machines among the targets. It also ruled out exempting any country, including Britain, that had been negotiating a deal. The United States has pressured Brussels to withdraw the law, and China, which stands to lose its price advantage over European steel, slammed the new rules as unfair and discriminatory. Now, in a statement, the Commerce Ministry said the EU had assigned significantly high default values on the carbon intensity of Chinese products and warned Beijing would take all necessary measures in response.
Meanwhile, here in France, the National Postal Service has fallen victim to a cyber attack for the second time in less than 2 weeks.
Online services of La Poste, which runs, of course, a banking service as well as mail and parcel delivery, were paralysed all day. The cyber attack on New Year's Day was similar to a breach that happened just before Christmas. That previous one was claimed by pro-Russian hackers. Laurent Berstecker and our colleagues at France Télévisions have more.
A new year and a fresh cyber attack on the French postal services. Customers who woke up on January 1st were unable to access delivery tracking on the mobile app, while the entire La Poste and Postal Bank websites were also down. A second breach in less than 2 weeks. On December 22nd, a similar attack claimed by pro-Russian hackers paralyzed the group's online platforms, heavily impacting the tracking and delivery of packages just before Christmas.
They say they can't find my package because of a computer issue.
This time, La Poste says only the app's tracking service has been affected, and the packages themselves are still being delivered as normal. The New Year's attack followed a similar method as the previous one, with hackers sending multiple requests to the website in order to overload its servers and make it temporarily inaccessible for users.
This type of attack only targets the visible part of the platform, meaning there's no possibility of data leaks or any risk for the users. All it does is make the website inaccessible, but it shows that La Poste lacks the modern tools to protect itself from very basic cyber attacks.
These types of cyber attacks, also known as denial of service, have become increasingly common in recent years, creating disruptions to websites such as Netflix, PayPal, and Amazon.
Staying in France, Yuka, the new year has brought some changes that affect consumers.
Well, after the festive season, of course, concern over the cost of living comes back to the minds of many. But with an emergency budget, national budget, passed late last year, which carried over last year's spending levels, some of the belt-tightening measures sought by the government are not happening, at least for now. There's good news for some 2 million workers earning a minimum wage. They will see a small increase in their pay slips starting this month due to inflation. Pensions will also rise, if only by 0.9%. That's after Parliament rejected the idea of a pension freeze. But consumers will also have to dig deeper for some essentials like medical visits and health insurance, but also everyday spending such as postage, transport and fuel.
And with prices remaining high, people are, of course, spending less, specifically on cars.
Yeah, the trend continues even if inflation has come down significantly from the post-COVID era. Lower inflation, of course, doesn't mean lower prices. It's just that they're rising more slowly. New car registrations in 2025 fell 5% from the previous year, according to industry group PFA. In 2019, 2.2 new cars were sold in the country. Last year, the number was down to 1.6 million, meaning the market has shrunk by a quarter in 6 years. Tesla continues to face headwinds. Its sales declined 37% over the previous year, while its market share shrunk to just 1.5%, reflecting its weakening sales across Europe.
Good news, though, for China's electric car giant. BYD has logged record annual sales.
Well, the company sold 2.26 million electric cars last year, setting a new record for any automaker globally. It looks set to have overtaken Tesla in annual sales, the US company having sold just 1.2 million EVs by the end of September. The Chinese firm also produces hybrid cars, with total sales for 2025 reaching 4.6 million, a 7% increase over the previous year. But that's a far cry from double or triple-digit percentage growth seen over the past few years. The company says outlook for this year is weaker. And that's it from the business desk.
Yuka, thanks so much for all of that. Yuka Woya there with all the day's business news.